Hi everyone, very good evening and welcome back to Geeks for Geeks practice. Hi Mau, hi Vanshika, and hi Rishit. Please give me a quick +1 in the chat, guys, if my voice is clearly audible to everyone and everything is working fine. And then I'll start off with this problem as well. This problem is really interesting and it's quite easy as well, as it is based on the concept of dynamic programming, which I have been discussing lately quite a lot in the problem of the days. So please give me a +1 if everything is working fine. Make sure to hit the like button as well, and then we'll discuss this problem as well. Hi Rohit. So let me share the screen as well so that we can get started with the problem now. But make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, so that everything works fine for us, right? So basically, this problem name is total decoding messages. Okay. So basically, the name of this problem is nothing but total decoding messages, right? And if you talk about this problem, so it has been asked in a lot of companies. If I'll show you, so you can see that it has been asked in Flipkart, Amazon, Microsoft, Oyo, Make My Trip, Goldman Sachs, Nutanix, LinkedIn, Facebook. So it's a very popular problem, to be honest. Now let's start discussing this problem as well. Okay, so please give me a +1 if we can start, and make sure to hit the like button as well if you haven't already. So basically, this problem says that a secret message contains letters from A to Z, is enclosed in numbers, right? So basically, like if you are having a message, right? So let's say if I have a message like I love you. Okay, if there's someone, let's say, for whom I have a message, let's say I love you. So I will not send a message like this to her father, like to her home, basically, because let's say if her father reads it. So basically, what I'll say is that okay, if there is a character A, so it will be indicated by let's say 1. If there is a character B, so it will be indicated by 2. Let's say if there is character C, so it will be indicated by 3, so on and so forth. If there is character Z, then it will be indicated by 26. Is that clear? Right. So is that clear to everyone? Let's say if this is something like A, B, C. So if this thing I have to write in form of a letter, so I'll write it like let's say 1, 2, 3. Is that clear to everyone? Guys, make sense? Make sense to everyone? Is that clear? That if I have to send some message, so I'll not send it directly. I'll send it in some form of encryption. A will have the ID as 1, right? Then B will have the ID as 2, C will have the ID as 3, Z will have the ID as let's say 26. So if ABC is there, so let's say it can be said as 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let's move further and see what it says. It says that you are an FBI agent. So you have to determine the total number of ways that you can decode this message. Okay. So basically, I will give you one very basic example in Hindi, right? There are several ways of doing things, right? Let's write this thing first of all, so that we can see what does decoding mean. So let's say if something like this is there, rokomat. Okay. Let's say this kind of thing is rokomat, and then there's something like jane do. Rokomat jane do. This means that let that person go. Okay, please write go in the chat. Now another way of decoding a message could be rokomat, comma, jane do. Like, are you getting my point? This comma brings a lot of differentiation. Roko mat jane do, roko mat jane do. Is that clear? Roko mat jane do. Is that clear? Like basically there are different ways you can decode a message, right? Basically in normal life, if I'll write this roko mat jane do, roko mat jane do, roko mat jane do. So does it make sense? These two words are indifferent, like basically they have different meanings if you will just hold yourself for a second and think about them, right? So basically similarly here also, let's say if I have a b, like if I have something like 1, 2, 3, right? If I have something like 1, 2, 3, so what might happen is that this guy one can be behave like a, like okay, then like see, I can decode it like several ways. Let's say maybe I can say that okay, this is ABC, right? Because one might indicate A, this might indicate B, this might indicate C. Another thing that I can do is, let's say I can decode it like this. See, basically what I can do is, if I'll talk frankly, so I can decode it like 1, 2, 3 like this, and it will be like ABC. Another thing that I could have done is, let's say I could have taken 1 and 2 together and 3 like this. So whatever is the code for 12, so let's say A is there, B is there, C is there, D is there, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 will be what? L. So L and then C. Is that clear? So this is how I can decode it. Or maybe I could have decoded it like this. Let's say what? 1 and then 23. Is that clear? So another character could have been there. Is that clear? Please give me a +1, guys, if this point is clear to everyone. This much point is clear. like how decoding can be different. Either you can decode it like 1 2 3 or 12 comma 3 also, right? So 12 will make the sense of L, let's say. Okay. Now similarly, if I'll have a look at this example also, so you can see here, right? If I have 1 2 3, so you can identify it as ABC, right? 1 2 3, like one individually, two individually, three individually. Or you can also identify it as, let's say, LC. As you can see here, you can identify it as LC, because you can identify 12 alone and then 3. Okay, so let's write this properly in terms of diagram, so that we are more clear. So first thing is that, like, if I have 1 2 3, so maybe what I can do is, I can just have 1, then I can just have 2, and then I can just have 3, right? So if I'll write it more frankly, let's say, so let's say I'm writing it like this. So I can take 1, okay, then 2 3 is there. So out of this, what I can do is, let's say I can take 1, okay, and then I can take 2 as well, then 3 alone will be left. Or what I can do is, I can take 1, then I don't do, and this thing is there. Another thing is that I can have 1 2 and then 3, right? So basically 123 will not be possible, so I'm not taking that case. So you can see that this case is ABC, let's say. This is what, this is LC, and this case is, I think, A and W. Is that clear? So please write all in the chat. I have to check for all possible ways. Okay, I have to count all possible ways. And which concept comes to my mind when I say that, okay, I have to do for all possible ways? Maybe this diagram is also helping you, that okay, if I might divide it from here and all that stuff. Which diagram comes to your mind? Like, which concept comes to your mind when I say that all possible ways? So all possible ways reminds me of nothing but recursion. Please write REC in the chat. All possible ways is nothing but recursion. Okay. Now there are two ways of handling a problem, right? Let's say if I have a string, as you can see, let's say if at any point of time I have a string str. Now let's say this string is 1 2 3, right? So maybe I can check this character, right? Are you getting my point? Let's say even the string str is bigger. So what I could have done is, I can either check one character or I can check two characters. Is that clear? Guys, are you getting my point? See, either I can check for this much segment, right, at one point of time for a particular string. Either I can say that, okay, if this is one, right, so either I can decode one character and then I can go for the remaining part, right? I can check for the remaining part. Or I can say that 12 is there and then 3. So basically either I can decode one character or more characters, like two characters. Is that clear? At one step, either I can decode one character or two characters. Let's say if something like 256 was given, right? So either I can say that, okay, let's say that I will decode this much part as, let's say 2, and then this part, then this part as 56, right? Whatever I want to do with this, or 25 and then 6. Is that clear? Please tell me, guys. I cannot, like, see, I have only options from 1 till 26, right? So either I can check for one character, right, or two characters, right? Because actually I want what? I either want the character to be between 1 to 9, okay, or I want it to be between 10 to 26. Is that clear? Please give me a +1, guys, if everyone is clear till this point. And make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, because a lot of people are watching us. Make sense? I hope that this makes sense, right? So I have only two choices. So please quickly write 2 in the chat. I see, but it becomes critical at the time of implementation. So Rag Yadav, believe me, if you will stay till the end, so it is not that difficult, right? So there are two options, right? Either you just go for one character, like just decode that one part, or decode two of the parts. Now it is also one thing, like there's one thing that needs to be seen. Let's say it is something like 52648. Okay. So now I can say that, okay, I can decode, like if I have to decode it in one part, so I can decode this guy. Yes, right. Now, can I decode two characters? Can you tell me, guys? Can I decode these two starting characters? No. Please write no in the chat, because this is out of the range of 26. Is that clear to everyone? This is out of range of 26. Is that clear? So I will not decode in such kind of scenario. Make sense? Yes or no? Make sense, guys? Okay. Hi, Joel. Are you clear that, okay, in this case you can decode one character, but you cannot decode multiple characters, right? So let's say if you have something like 2, then 0 5 7, whatever. So in this case you can decode one character, right, as well as you can decode two characters, right? So this is the scenario. Now in this case, what will I do further? So I will say that, okay, let's start writing a little bit of code as well here. So let me just change this. Okay, so let's start writing a little bit of code here, so that we are more clear with this. Right. So what I will say here is, like, first of all, I'll be starting with the very basic, right? So I'll say that, okay, let's return a recursive call that will count all the possible number of ways. Okay. So initially I'm going to start from the 0th index. Please write 0 in the chat, guys. Initially I'm going to start from where? I'm going to start from the 0th index, right? I'm going to pass this string, right? And I'm going to start from the 0th index. Is that clear to everyone? Make sense? Please tell me. Why there are so less people watching? A lot of people are watching, I think, right? So see, initially I'm going to start from the 0th index and I'll pass this string as well. Now what I will do is there'll be int recursive function. This will be the int recursive function, right? And here what I will do is in this, first of all, I'll be passing this index. So let's say this is int I, and another thing that I'll be passing is the string str. So let's say this is string str, right? Now what is the base case? Like in recursion there is always a base case, right? So if I'm checking highest ever, okay, so basically if you will see here, let's say there is a string, let's say if there is a string, let's say like 1 25, let's say 32 and 7 4, okay, let's say it is like 24, right? So let's say if I'm decoding a string, okay, so let's say if I decode 1, then I decode 25, okay, then I have decoded 3, then I have decoded 22, and then I have decoded 4. So when I reach the end of the string now, right, see, can I say that when I reach the end of the string, then it is one way of decoding it? Is that clear? If I am able to throughout the string, if I'm able to decode it one by one, and I reach its end, so that is one way. Please write 1 in the chat. That is one way of decoding that string. Is that clear? Please write yes in the chat. If I keep on decoding the string, let's say if I keep on decoding the string, right, either one character at a time or two character at a time, right, depends on the scenario, then in that case what will happen, like you, let's say this random decomposition I'm doing, so if I reach the end of the string, so in that case it is one way, right, it is one way. So in that case what I'll say is, let's say if it happens that I is equal to str.size, so if I reach the end of the string, then that is one way. So in that case I'll simply return what? I'll simply return 1. Make sense? I hope that everyone is clear with this idea. Now other than this, what is the scenario? So other than this, there are two choices, right? So let me write choice 1, okay, and let's say that, okay, choice 1 will have 0. Let's initialize choice 1 as 0, and let's have choice 2 also. Choice 2 as 0 as well, right? Choice 1 is that I take only one character, right? I take only one character. So what can I say? Like I can say that, okay, if it happens, right, let's say if the current string is like 7, like see, you need to understand one more thing. Let's say if somebody passes this kind of thing, so can this be decoded? Guys, please tell me, can this string be decoded? Can such kind of a string be decoded? Please tell me, can this kind of a string be decoded? Please write yes or no in the chat and hit the like button as well. Can this kind of string be decoded? Yes or no? Please tell me, because you have the decomposition from 1 to 26, okay, A to Z. Now this kind of string cannot be decoded, right? Similarly, so you will say that, okay, let's check for starting if it is 0, if s of 0 is 0. No, I'll say that, okay, let's assume this kind of a case also. Let's say that if you have something like 2 5 7 8 4 2 0 0 1, right? So this cannot be decoded, this kind of segment, whenever any ith thing is this, right? So if a single character is 0, then it cannot be. So in that case you need to check that, okay, if you are checking only a single character, so if s of I is greater equal to 1, right, and s of I is lesser equal to 9, okay, then only you can check the remaining part. Is that clear? Then only you will proceed further. Is that clear to everyone? That what I'm saying in this case is that if it happens that str of I, if it is greater equal to 1, right, if it is greater equal to 1, and the str of I if is lesser equal to this particular state 9, in that case only you can decode it. Please write +1 in the chat. Make sense to everyone? Make sense? Then only you can decode it. You can only decode it if it is lying in this range, correct? So in that case what will you say? Anyone? Like in that case you will say that, okay, the choice 1 is that, okay, I go for only one character, so it will be nothing but recursion of what? It will be nothing but recursion of I plus 1. You will move to the next character. Please write, because I've just checked the ith character, so now I'll move for the I plus 1th, because if the ith character is in this range, then I'll move for the I plus 1th character, and I'll pass this string as well. Is that clear to everyone, guys? Please tell me. This much point is clear to everyone? Please give me a +1 if you are clear, right? This is the scenario. Other than this, what is the scenario? So other than this, I'll say that, okay, let's say that I'll be having a string variable. Let's name it as temp or something. You can name it as something like what, part, let's say part, okay. So other than this, if I have any string, so see, either I can check for one character, right? So let's say if I'm having 2 5 7 8 whatever, right? Let's say if I'm at any ith character, so either I can check this much segment, right? So from the given string I can take substring of it, right? S dot sub str, right, starting from I comma length of 2. So I can extract a length of 2, and I can check whether it is lying in the range 10 to 20, like in the range 10 to 26 or not. Okay, then also I can decompose it. So what I will say is that str dot sub str str comma 2, is that like, sorry, I comma 2, from this ith index the length of 2, is that clear? that I can either extract a length of 2 from here. Makes sense to everyone, right? So either I can extract a length of 2. Now in this case, I'll check that, okay, if this part that I have extracted, right, if it is what, if this part that I have extracted, if it is what, can you tell me guys, if this part that I have extracted, it is what? Anyone? If this part that I have extracted, if this part is greater or equal to 10, right, and it happens if this part is greater or equal to 10, so let's write it like this, string format, right? If it is greater or equal to 10, and it happens that this part that I've extracted, it is what, it is lesser or equal to this 26 value, then there is a second choice, right? So I'll say that, okay, choice 2 is equal to what, choice 2 is equal to I'll call the recursion, okay, and I'll pass what, guys, please tell me, I'll pass I plus 2 and I'll pass the str here. Now in the end, what I have to do is I have to return the total possible ways. So I'll say that, okay, it is going to be nothing but the sum of the choice 1 plus choice 2. Is that clear to everyone? And I have to take the mod as well, so I'll declare the mod value here. Let's say that int mod is equal to 1e9 plus 7. Is that clear? This much point is clear? Till now everyone is clear? Guys, if you're clear till this point, please make sure to hit the like button. Make sense? But still there is something that I'm missing, right? So can I always call for I plus 2 with index? Guys, please tell me. Can I always call for I plus 2 with index? Please tell me. Normally. Please tell me, guys. Can I always call for I plus 2 with index? I should check now whether I can extract this much length or not. Are you getting my point, guys? I should check that whether I can extract that much or not. Is using string comparison correct? I think so that it won't affect. Yes, I think this is correct, because I don't think that it will give me an error. I just submitted it earlier, so it did not give me any error, right? Because if you will consider this kind of a scenario, let's say that what happened was, let's say the string was like, some string was there, 5 7 8 9 10, let's say not 10, okay, 4. Now let's say if my ith guy was standing here, okay, right, if my ith guy was standing somewhere here. Now if my ith guy was standing somewhere here, so will I have a length of 2? Please tell me, will I have length of 2? Can I extract length of 2 in that case? Can I extract length of 2 in that case? No, possibly not. Like, see, if I'll try to submit this code, let's say that if it gets compiled or not. Let's see first of all. Okay, just give me a second. Part 2, it may be okay. It works fine for the samples. Let's try and submit it. Let's see how it works. Okay, so it gives me a runtime error. You will see that, okay, here it is giving me some kind of random signal abort. So it is like, it is not working fine. Why? Because it might happen now that you are trying to extract something which is not available. So you should check, like, you should check that, okay, I should be, if you want to extract the last, so you should always check that, okay, if you are standing at the second last at least, because you cannot stand at this high, right? If you're standing at this side, then you cannot extract this much character. Are you getting my point? So that is why what you should do here is, like, if you are standing here, then you can extract this much length, right? Or if you are standing anywhere inside, so if your I is lesser than n minus 2, lesser than equal to n minus 2, is that clear? If I is lesser than n minus 2, then only you can extract a length of 2. Is that clear? That is why we are getting this runtime error for ourselves. Is that clear? So I should also check that, okay, if I is lesser equal to str.size minus 2. Is that clear, guys? If it is like, if it is till this point, right, at least, then only I can extract a length of 2. Make sense for everyone? Otherwise you will get an error, obviously, right? Because in such a cases you are trying to check it like this, but this is not available for you. Make sense? If I'll try to compile it now, let's see what happens. Okay, so I've not used and here. Let's try and submit it again. Make sense, everyone? Okay, so now you will see that, okay, now I'm not getting the same error. Now I'm getting a TLE error. Is that clear? Now I'm getting a TLE error. Is that clear? Earlier I was getting a like abort error because I was trying to extract something which was not available. So that is why now I have checked, because I cannot extract very easily, right? If you will see, if my I is here, then only I can extract 2 characters and something like that. But if my I is standing somewhere here, then I cannot. So that is why I can extract only till this I, till this n minus 2. If I is lesser than equal to n minus 2, then only I can extract 2 characters. Is that clear to everyone, guys? Makes sense? Why we have done this thing? Is that clear to everyone, guys? See, instead of this, you can do something else as well. If you don't, let's say if you don't want to write this thing, so instead of this, what I can do is, let's say if I'll skip this part and let me try it if it might work. So if let's say the string length is greater equal to this, let's try and submit this also. Maybe this might work. Mm, no, it will. Okay, it's not working, right? So that is why you should do that only. Okay, so is that clear? So if I is lesser equal to this, then only you can extract. Now, if I submit this code, so I'm getting a TLE, and you know how to remove a TLE, correct? If you will see here, I'm getting a time limit exceeded. Now, why am I getting a time limit exceeded? Simply because there are a lot of states that are already calculated. So what will I do, guys? Here, I'll use GP concept. Is that clear? So I'll simply do what? I'll simply declare. Let's increase the font size. What I'll do is I'll simply declare a DP, let's say, which will be of size what? str.size, right? And I'll pass -1. Initially, all the states will not be calculated, and I'll pass this DP state here in the function, and here also on the upper side I'll pass it. So vector int ampersand DP, and I'll check that okay. If it happens that DP of I is not equal to -1, if it is already calculated, then in that case you will not calculate it, so you'll directly return this state. Otherwise, what you will do is you will calculate. So okay, I think that I should do it long. Let's see if I'll require long, then I'll change the long format as well. Otherwise, if it is not, then you will calculate it, store it, and then return it. So is that clear to everyone, guys? At this point, everyone is clear or not? And simply I'll pass it inside the functions as well. So I'll pass this DP here and I'll pass this DP here as well. Till this much point, everyone is clear? Like we are applying the DP part. If you're clear, you can hit the like button as well, guys. I hope that everyone is clear till now. Let's try and compile it to see if it works for all the cases now. Okay, so it gets accepted. So is this problem clear to everyone now, guys? Is it clear what we have done, why we have done? Is this problem clear to everyone, guys? Basically, why we have applied this condition, because you cannot check in that manner, right? And basically, you have memorized every state. So let me show you again. It's a very simple code, to be honest. You have declared DP for memorization purpose only. Initially, you have started the recursion from 0. You're passing the string. You're passing this GP, right? If you reach the end of the string, so that means that you have extracted the string, and you'll return 1, right? Because that is one way. Please write 1 in the chat if you reach the end of the string, right? So this means that okay, there's one way of decoding that string, right? So in that case, you are returning 1. If that state is already calculated, so in that case you will directly return the value, right? Because you don't want to calculate it again and again. Otherwise, you will have the choice 1 and choice 2. Initially, you will mark them as 0. What is choice 1? Choice 1 is that if you take only one character, right? If you try to decode only one character. Choice 2 is what? That you try to decode two characters, right? So if the ith character, if only one character that I am trying to decode, and that is the ith character, if it is lying in the range 1 to 9, so in that case I'll decode it, and then I'll pass I plus 1, that is the next part of the string, and I'll pass the string and I'll pass the DP, right? And whatever answer I'll get, that will be choice 1. Other than this, what I can do is I'll take the part 2, right? So in fact, yeah, this is fine. So basically you can say that maybe I could have done it in a better fashion if I would have included this inside this if, let's say, but still it is fine. So basically I'll extract this much length. Now this much length, it is not possible that it might be extracted always. So that is why I'm checking that, okay, if I have at least the second last character, because from the second last character, I can have two characters, right? I can extract two characters. So that is why I'm checking this condition explicitly, that if, okay, if I have two characters, right? If I have the availability of two characters at least, then in that case, the choice is that I take this, and if it is lying in the range 10 to 26, in that case, I'll pass the recursion for I plus 2, that is I and I plus 1 character are decoded. Now let's move to the I plus 2th character. Okay, and that will be choice 2. And whatever is answer I'm getting by choice 1 and choice 2, I need to add them up, take the modulo, and then return this DP. Is that clear to everyone? Please tell me, guys, is it clear? I hope that this point is pretty much clear to everyone. Like, there's a better way, I think, that we can write it. Just give me a second, I'll try to do it. Okay. So basically, what I could have done is something like this. Let's say that if I have to take out the part only now. So just a second. Okay. So in this case, this will be the thing. Basically, I'm saying that okay, let's extract the part somewhere here. I think this makes more sense, right? So if you are eligible, right, if you are eligible to take the like if you are eligible, like at least you are at the second last character, right? Second last, because if you are in the range, because if you want to take the ith as well as the I plus 1 as character, so in that case, like as I said, if this string is ABC, right? So if you are at this ith character, right, then you cannot have two characters. So that is why you need to check. So what you need to check is that if your I is lesser equal to n minus 2, right, are you clear with this? That is only when you can have two characters at least. Or if you have ABC, if it is lesser than this thing, then only you can have at least two characters. That is what you can check. So that is when we are taking out this part, line number 19. Yes, it is the same. So basically checking that okay, if it is 1 to 9, yes. So in this case, I'm extracting the part, and if this part is between 10 to 26, in that case only I am updating my choice. Make sense, everyone? Now does it make sense? Let's try and compile it as well. I hope it should work. Okay, works fine for the samples. Should get accepted as well. Yeah, it gets accepted as well. So is it clear? I think this is much more clear code, right? So basically, if you have at least two characters in the end, at least two characters, right, then only you can extract the last two characters. So in that case, you will have this part, and then if this part is in this range, then you will have it. Is that clear? And then you will move to I plus 2. So I and I plus 1 are extracted. They are decoded, and now you will move forward. Is that clear to everyone? If everyone is clear till now, so what I'll suggest is that you can give me a +1 in the chat. Okay, and you can hit the like button as well, guys. Please hit the like button if you are clear. If everyone is clear, okay, Rag Yadav is clear, Mau is also clear. So please make sure to hit the like button. I'm just counting the number of likes. Currently the number of likes is 10. So let's see, can we go till 15 or somewhere? Please make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. I'm just waiting for some more time. Okay, right. So this problem was asked in a lot of companies. Now you can hit the like button. In the meantime, I'll give you the code for this as well. Right. So it was an easy problem, I would say, if you know a little bit of DP concept. So let's see. I'll just generate the code for it as well. Okay. Great. So many of you have understood this concept. All right. So I have shared this code link as well. So you can see that. Thanks, Vanchika. Thanks, Mau. Thanks, Rohit, as well. So this was the problem. I think it was quite easy for all of us and has been asked in a lot of companies, obviously. So make sure to practice the problem of the day every day as much as possible. And if you have any doubts, then you can comment that down. I'll answer them as well. Thanks a lot for joining. Make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe this channel as well if you are coming for the first time. Obviously, in future, there is an option for unsubscribing if you don't like the amazing content. Thanks a lot and good night. Take care and keep coding, guys. Bye. Take care.